Welcome back to Cryptowise, my friends. My name is Marvin.
My name is Milton, and we're a couple of wise guys talking crypto.
Talking crypto is right. We got a lot coming up, boys and girls. Put your big boy pants on. You're gonna need it. Things are getting a little hairy. The last few days have been absolutely crazy, and we got a lot to talk about. So, Milty, how you doing, my man?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in.
You hanging in? A lot of people are not hanging in. A lot of people are not hanging in. A lot of people are scared. Very, very scared. You're going to learn a lot in today's episode. We're going to keep it tight in here, guys. It's not going to be that long of an episode for you, but we've got a lot to talk about, so stay tuned. If you do us a big favor and subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Smash it, smash it, smash it. We really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please do us a huge favor and join us on Twitter at Cryptowise Guys. That's right, Cryptowise Guys. It's our Twitter. It is growing, as well as on Telegram, guys. Cryptowise Official. That group is out of control. There's a lot of people in there. It's 24/7 crypto chat. So you want to join that. Honestly, you don't want to miss the boat. You got to be in that group. Cryptowise Official on Telegram. All right, diving right in. Bitcoin at 41,000. It is really, really trying to stay above 40 in that 40-41 zone and get some momentum upward. Ethereum 2,800, bouncing back, guys. Look at this. On the 24, we've got Bitcoin up 7.23%. We've got Ethereum up 10%. BNB is bouncing back as well. It was over 400. It is back down a little, just under at 399. We've got Cardano at $1.81, XRP at $1.20, and our beloved Polkadot took a nice beating, down 28% on the week, and is currently sitting at $29 after Decoded, after Polkadot decoded, Milt, at $29.
I know there was really no big news that came out of Decoded to really give it that kind of short-term pump, but wow, was I impressed. And we're definitely going to be talking about Polkadot Decoded on today's show. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, okay, good. I mean, look at these entry points that were available on Polkadot. Wow, this entire market has been absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Everyone's asking themselves, is this the end? Are we entering a bear market for the long term here? That's what everyone is asking. I'm getting calls left, right, and center. Should I sell? Should I get out of my positions? Should I sell my spot assets? What the hell to do? Are we going to recover? Are we going to recover, Milton? That is the narrative. The level of fear in the market right now is absolutely intense. Nothing like I've seen in this cycle as of yet. But I've seen similar levels of fear earlier in this cycle. If we remember back in September in the last dip, and if we remember back in the last bull run, this is nothing new for us, is it?
No. I mean, this one was, I got to tip my cap to it and say this was definitely a crash for the ages. This was an all-timer for sure. But I'm definitely on the side that this bull is not done. And we have some kind of thoughts on maybe what happened here. I think it kind of was one of those regular bull cycle corrections that on steroids, so to speak. And we're going to be talking about maybe one theory, at least, to why maybe this happened.
Yeah, we are. As you guys probably know, in our last show, there was some discussion about a position that I was in, a long position on Bitcoin. And yeah, Milton. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Well, we won't, guys, I know you want to know what happened to Marv's Long. Obviously, he got liquidated. We won't talk too much about it because, Marvin's been crying for the last couple of days. It was, it was a big trade. And Marvin, we don't usually do leverage trading. And, but he was not the only one. I found this tweet here, Marv.
Hold on. Before you get into that tweet,
Okay.
I just want to show everybody. So I had longed Bitcoin at the wrong time. I got trapped, okay? and this is what I think you want to talk about, Melt. I got trapped in a position at the wrong time. Well, honestly, the worst time in history, apparently, for this. And this is the candle that absolutely wrecked me right here. That came down all the way.
That was the night of our last show. We were talking, during maybe the red candle before that. We were on air live.
That's right.
Maybe for our Cryptowisers, because we probably, have a couple of people watching who don't know what the ins and outs of trading with leverage, of longing, of shorting. Give just a précis. Just tell us very quickly, what does that mean, Marv?
Well, longing and shorting is basically betting on the future. Is Bitcoin going to go up and is it going to go down? And to be honest, okay, full disclosure, I had been shorting Bitcoin the entire weekend and doing very well. All indications were it was going to go short. Now, but then I decided that based on the indicators, I thought we were going to have a short-term long position, right? The indicators were telling me a short-term long position. I wasn't going to get in it very long. But sure enough, and I got in it during our last show. During the last bloody show is when I got in it. And then all of a sudden, Bitcoin starts going down. Now, it didn't do this dramatic movements that we see this candle right here, but it started coming down. And I got stuck in the position, so I was forced to continue to add margin to ensure that my liquidation price, right? Because what happens is when you long or short, you have a liquidation price, which means if I'm longing Bitcoin and saying Bitcoin's going to go up and it starts going down, depending on the amount of margin that I have in my account, I have a set liquidation price. And at that time, my liquidation price was around 35,000, which I thought was a lot of margin. Now, as it continued to go down, I had to continue to add more margin, which is exactly why this entire bloody crash took place, because of the amount of longs and the amount of margin outstanding sitting there for the beasts to come and steal. Long story short, I put enough margin in to go to sleep, okay? To go to sleep just for a couple of hours. I think I went to sleep for a couple hours. Bitcoin was at around 39.5, and then I put some more margin in and brought my liquidation down just under 30,000, thinking, okay, that's plenty. I can go to sleep. That was wrong. I woke up, and on Binance, it went all the way down. I mean, the bottom of the stick was around 27.28.
Yeah, that wick
took me out. It took me out.
I woke up. You were not the only person. That was that wick, that long, skinny little stick. That was a tsunami. Took so many people out. I heard over 800,000 people were liquidated on that wick. And that is one theory out there as to why this crash was so bad. So I found this tweet. I don't know this guy. It's at BT Citizen. And he says, for anyone wondering what the F just happened, here's what I'm looking at. And he wasn't the only one to talk about this, but he did a nice thread. He kind of explains it really nice. So he says, first off, bull market corrections of 25 to 30% are completely normal and expected. And that's kind of what we thought it was, that it was just going to be a normal bull run correction. And he shows you here on the chart, all these are 30 or more corrections that we saw in the last bull run. But then he says, in what was already somewhat of an overheated market with profit taking occurring throughout, throw in the Molotov cocktail that is Elon, and things got really interesting as speculators without conviction start selling at a loss. Classic energy FUD. So we saw that. But then he goes on. Why did BTC nuke? Okay, so a pullback was understandable, but why did it go to such levels? So he says that following the 64K all-time high, the market started to sell off. And during those sell-offs, the funding flips negative. But each time the traders quickly leveraged back up. And leverage was never flushed out. So no one lost, no one got liquidated out. And so they kept adding to their positions. And the whales saw this. And you were one of these people adding to your liquid, thinking it's going to go up because it's been going down. It's got to go up. I'll just increase my margin here. And the whales saw this. And this is the theory that the whales saw this and they plunged the market just enough to liquidate all those longs, including you, Marv.
Including
and 800,000 people were leveraged, were liquidated, on that wick that you saw. So that's one theory. It makes sense to me.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, if anyone,
it definitely makes way more sense to me than we're in a bear all of a sudden.
Yeah. I mean, look, market manipulation's a real thing. There's no question about it. I thought I was one of the whales. The size of my position, I thought, no. I'm one of the whales in this. They'll never catch me.
I thought you were safe for sure.
They'll never catch me. But
you had a very low, you had a lot of margin there. You had a lot of room. But yeah, good educational story. Just, I'm sorry that you had to go through that, Marv, but obviously we can learn from it. And just obviously, look, leverage trading is not going anywhere. It's going to be here forever. And those who are comfortable with it, go for it, but know the risks. It's definitely risky. I've seen more people lose money from leverage trading than from anything else in this crypto market.
That's true. I've seen a lot of people make a lot of money as well, but absolutely. Listen, no question. The majority of the gains that I've gotten in crypto it has nothing to do with leverage trading. It's from making smart investments into real projects, holding those assets and watching them grow and supporting those communities.
Let's just make that clear, because we're not pro leverage trading. We're not anti leverage trading, but normally neither of us are leverage traders, but what we are crypto enthusiasts, trading enthusiasts. And so you were trying it out. You were giving it a try.
Well, listen, I'm obviously not a pro. But yeah, I was trying it out. Listen, it's all a part of the deal. I tried it in the past. I lost. I got a little bit more confident, or a lot more confident, and it didn't work. But you know what? I'm not ashamed by it. It was an expensive lesson, Milt. I think I could have gone to university 2 or 3 times over off of that lesson. It was quite expensive, but I did learn a lot, and I hopefully will not make the same mistake again. And I'm really, really happy at the same time. And guys, for the record, everything I did in that trade was profits. Everything that I did in that trade was profits from not leverage trading, from spot investing, from investing in some of the best projects over the last 4 or 5 years. Every time I take profits.
Everyone hates losing money and losing, on a big trade like that. But obviously, rule number 1 for us always, and we say this to you guys always, do not risk more than you can lose. And you didn't do that. So obviously
but it still made me cry in the fetal position for a good hour. And I'll probably be in therapy for a couple of years over that. Well, I mean, the wounds are deep, but yeah, no, you gotta put your head back.
Everyone has.
Yeah. Where the hell are we going? That's what everyone wants to freaking know.
Yeah. None of this. Let's stop looking backwards. Let's look forward. What does this mean? Where are we? Is it safe to start buying Bitcoin again? Should we feel fear, or should we be confident that we can start buying these dips, all these beautiful sales out there? What are your thoughts on this, Marv?
Well, I'm looking at the charts over here. I'm just going to pull up my charts because I got a lot going on over here. And to be honest, right now I'm seeing some bullish action happening. I'm seeing some money move into the markets down here for the first time in a little while over the last couple of days. And I am seeing somewhat of a bullish tendency start to take place as we go up here. And so my thoughts is, there's a lot of rhetoric, there's a lot of FUD around the idea that we haven't hit bottom, and this is now a bear trap. There's a lot of people and good people with experience are afraid of this. I've talked to CEOs that are in crypto space, in projects, and they're scared. And, some of them are selling some of their spot positions, a percentage of them out of some fear, because there's so much FUD going around right now in Milton that, even I have some fear. And of course, I just got slapped in the face with a hard lesson. But at the end of the day, Milt, I don't think we've reached our all-time highs this cycle. I don't think the bull is over. I don't think Bitcoin is going anywhere. Any of this rhetoric or narrative that Bitcoin is done is an absolute joke. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Long-term macro, I'm not worried at all. I'm more bullish about Bitcoin and crypto than I've ever been. Now, from a short-term perspective, I think you got to be careful right here. I think, look, we're clearly oversold, okay? I'm looking at this RSI here, down here. We haven't been at these levels for so long. You can see this kind of bearish trend that we saw kind of all the way coming down. Look, I think anything can happen always. It can go in any direction. I got to say that at all times. But I think the odds are that we're going to have some sort of bounce from here because we sold off so dramatically. But I'm not going to think that we're completely out of the woods until I see some sort of reversal of this trend. So do I think that we're going to bounce back up maybe to the 46, 47 level? Yeah, I think that's probably the probability. We can see Bitcoin fighting to do that now. You can see the bulls just fighting it, really trying to get control. But I'm not going to start being comfortable until we're well into the 50s again, and we see some consolidation in this area. I think I'm going to be treading lightly this next little while.
I think that's a good play. I think everyone should tread lightly, and everyone should kind of let the dust settle a little bit. But here's one thing that gets me, Milt. When I think about this, okay, if I rewound a week, it was the opposite. Everyone was so bullish. And what happened? There was all these longs, and we saw what took place. The complete opposite is happening right now. Everyone is full of fear. Everyone is saying, wait for the double bottom. Everyone is saying, we might be entering a long-term bear cycle. And there's so much going around in terms of instilling fear that there's a lot of people shorting this market right now, thinking we're going to continue to go down.
I'm definitely not on the bear. I'm definitely not on wearing a bear. I'm not on that bandwagon at all.
But if that's the case, I mean, we're obviously in somewhat of a bear cycle here this week. There's no question. The last few days have been extremely bearish. But if here's where I'm at. If everyone is thinking that we're headed down and we're going to continue to head down, and this is just another trap, then my gut tells me, generally speaking, in my experience in crypto, the opposite is going to happen. And not to mention all of my feelings on the value of where the industry is at, where cryptocurrency is at, and the real value that's been created versus the last bull run, because now we have real projects with real products, not just stories, and all the fundamentals, and you could talk about institutions, corporations, blah, 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 blah. It's a different time than the last run. But remove all that, everyone's talking like we're headed down. And when everyone's talking we're headed down, I think we're going up. And when everyone's telling me it's going to continue to go up, I'm shaking my head and going, guys, wait for the correction, because you'll find out what crypto's really like. If you're new to crypto, you just had the biggest lesson. Welcome to the club, gentlemen, because you've finally seen what a real dip is.
They did. Did they ever? That is definitely a dip. Okay. You don't see wicks like that very often, and red bars like this on the daily. That is a full week of very, very big dips. Let's have a quick look at the weekly here before we start talking about different things. Just have a quick look at the weekly here. Yeah, we still got, cancel. So we still got, a ways to go this week, and hopefully,
we got a lot of people in here. While you're doing that, we got a lot of people in here. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Nicholas, what up, my man? Tamia, woo! Tibersum, Ryan, Verstige, Tim, what up, buddy? Shell, Ryan, Bruce, what's going on? Soleman, welcome back, my friend. Thank you all for being here. If you guys haven't already, please do us a huge favor and smash that like button. There's a lot more of you than we have likes, so do us a solid and smash it. Smash it. What's going on, Milton? What are you looking at?
Well, I think they should take that anger. We all have so much anger from the last few days of these dips. Take that anger and smash that like button, okay? I think we got to move on to some better news here.
Well, yeah, because
Obviously,
listen,
super chats are open. If people have questions about Bitcoin, about the charts, about our thoughts on what's going to happen, they can ask us. But I think people need some better news in their life. So I think we need to move on.
We got to move on. People want to know, how are we going to make our money back that we just lost? What are we going to do next?
We got to talk Polkadot. Okay. That's my happy spot. That's my happy place. This is the future, such a big part of the future of crypto in my opinion. The last 2 days, Polkadot Decoded, the big conference for the Polkadot network. Look, I'm not going to go through too much detail about what went on. We'll talk about some specific things that caught my eye that I heard. But honestly, you know what the big thing that I took away was, Marv, that I think is probably the most bullish thing that I could think of.
What's that?
Hearing these genius devs, these genius visionary developers, one after another, talking about Substrate and how amazing Substrate is to build blockchains on, to build blockchain dApps on. I think it's really going to change the game in a way that people just aren't paying enough attention to. This is a brand new language for developing blockchain projects, and just hearing developers talk about it for the last 2 days, they clearly just see it as such a step above Solidity and what's already out there. And it just seems to, and their excitement around how easy it will be to grow and to evolve on this Polkadot platform and the Kusama platform, or any Substrate built blockchain. So I just think it's so bullish. It's just so bullish from that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I love to hear that, because we get very distracted with what's the price of this, is the market up, is the market down, and we lose focus on why we're really here. And that's for what's being built. And that's for the future.
Yeah. And 100%. These people are not thinking about the prices in the next hour, the next couple of days. And one of these projects doesn't even have a token out. Obviously, this is a project that you and I have talked a lot about. We're so bullish on this one. They had a speech or a talk here as part of Decoded, and that's Kilt Protocol. Okay. And they talked about what they came out is they're talking about social KYC. So those of you who don't know Kilt, it's a Polkadot project that is all about being able to verify in a decentralized private way. And this is kind of one of the ways they're talking about doing it, is social KYC. So what this means is, let me just walk through this article for people. So social KYC will allow users to manage, store, and present their personal credentials, enabling them to select which elements of their private information are accessed by online services. This is huge. This is game changing. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about a decentralized Web 3.0 future. Okay, so now when you sign up for anything, you got to put your name, you got to put your phone number, you got to put your email, whatever, and they have that on their server somewhere or on their database somewhere. And you know how many times that gets leaked or hacked or whatnot, or you don't even want to you don't want them to know all that information about you. Well, through Kilt Protocol and projects like it, and this step that they've taken with the social KYC, basically through Kilt, you will verify yourself, your social identity, through your LinkedIn, through your Twitter, through your TikTok, whatever. You verify yourself through Kilt, and then they give you credentials that you can use on different platforms, which basically say to that platform, you can trust that I am the person I say I am, but you don't have to know exactly who I am, and you don't have to have my information. You don't have to have my data. You just need me to verify for you that I'm that person. So, perfect example for this would be age. Okay. If there's an age limit, you can't do a certain thing until you're 18 or 16, whatever. You can verify, I am this age. I'm verifying it with you. Kilt, I have the Kilt protocol verification. I'm this age. You don't need to know who I am. You don't need to know my phone number. You don't need to see my passport, whatever else. This is huge. They've already partnered with one of your favorite projects for this, Polkadot.
That is right.
They also talked at the conference. They'd had a great talk. They've also partnered with Fractal.
Hold on. While you're bringing up Pokedex, I just want people to take a look. Add this to your BIDAR. It's one of my favorite Polkadot projects right now. I know Milton and I have been going back and forth on Pokedex versus PokeSwap. I love them both. We love them both. We've got a bet going. But Pokedex partnered with our boys, as you just mentioned, Kilt. And that's for anonymous KYC verification.
Yeah. It's gonna. I mean, I can just think of so many use cases for Kilt. I'm so excited. It's one of the projects I am the most excited about. I mean, endless use cases for this, and it will actually make online experiences such a better, safer place for all of us. The other thing I wanted to bring up here is this woman here is a great follow. She works with Masari, which is an amazing crypto research firm. They have a paid membership that you can pay for or whatever, but she's been doing some great tweets here. So I've collected a few of hers because she's talking a lot about Polkadot. So this is one thread. She was talking about the launch of the parachains, and she goes through her top 13, I think it is, projects, because you and I have talked a lot about this. Who do we think are the top projects on Polkadot? She's got a lot of the ones we talked about and then a couple of ones that we haven't mentioned. But okay, so let's just go through these quickly. She's got at number 1, Akala, which we talked about. Plasm, number 2.
Yeah.
Moonbeam, number 3. 4, she's got Fala. 5, she's got our boy, Kylan.
Yep.
Then she's got Clover Finance, Darwinia, Equilibrium, which we haven't talked a lot about, which is an amazing one as well.
And
Centrifuge, we haven't talked a lot about. Centrifuge is a great one. Hydra DX, great one. That's number 10. Then she's got BitCountry, which we haven't talked about, which is a metaverse project. Edgeware, and then she's also got Manta Network. So those are ones to have on your radar. All of these are, I agree with her on all of these.
Now, Centrifuge, I believe that's going to be a CoinList IDO. Correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I'm almost positive that, are they out already, or is that an IDO coming?
I think they're out already. I think they're
okay,
ETH,
so I've got it confused.
They're ETH, because they're going to be both ETH and Polkadot. But here they also, so there's that slide I'll get back to. So, but this was also a great slide that she had, that she tweeted. So if you follow her, she's got this, because a lot of people, it's hard for people to keep track of like all these different networks, who does what, how can and I think people like the Ethereum comparable. So like when you talk about the Polkadot project, a lot of people like to compare it to like, well, what is that like on Ethereum? And she's done that here. So you can see credit markets on Ethereum. You've got Compound, Maker, Aave, and then the equivalents. In her mind, this isn't exhaustive. She's missing some that I would have put on here, but it's a good start. Equilibrium, Akala, Acropolis, and then she goes down the list of kind of the major DeFi NFT plays. This is just a great reference here, I thought.
Yeah, no, that's great. So for the record, Centrifuge is a CoinList IDO, and there's 2 options, and it's on May 26th for anyone that wants to participate. I think the registration is still open.
That's huge. That's huge. So yeah, if we see, just looking quickly on this list, you got the oracles there, Kylan, and a lot of people say, well, you know, a lot of people, because we love Kylan so much, they say, why do you love Kylan so much? It's just another oracle project. It's not though. And to prove it, she's got it here also under data, and they were her number 5 project. So Kylan is a hybrid of data, and you can see the graph and Ocean on the Ethereum side, and now it's Kylan and Subquery. Subquery is another great Polkadot project to keep your eye on, keep an eye out for. They are kind of the graph of Polkadot, but this is a great reference. And then the other one that she had, which is also awesome. So she's talking here about the pair. We've been talking parachain auctions. Well, what does that mean? People want to know what that means. Well, it means there's going to be a whole lot less DOT on the market. What do you think that's going to do to the price? So she's got a great visual here. So this is right now the current supply distribution. 65% of DOT is staked. 30% is circulating right now. And then you've got the treasury 1%, 4% for other. So what's going to happen when the parachains come? you're going to be cutting this circulating supply from 30% to 15%, because you're going to have 40% of all DOT going to parachains. 40% is going to be staked. And so you're cutting the circulating supply in half.
It's massive.
And all of these, yeah, massive. These have, the staking has a 28-day unlock. So people can't just freak out and sell that. And then the parachains are locked up from 6 months to 2 years. So I don't know. I don't see how, if the parachains are successful, that DOT price isn't going to have a huge surge in the next few months.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And looking at the DOT price right now, I mean, it's hovering around $30. I mean, it had a massive dip. It's all-time high at $49.35. And so I think DOT is a huge buy right now. Not financial advice. Nothing you hear on this channel is financial advice, by the way. Don't risk any money you can't afford to lose, and read the disclaimer in the video below. But in my opinion, Milty, I mean, DOT at $30. Like,
I mean, I'm so sad opportunities I missed that flash crash.
Now. Yeah,
because it flash crashed to $16 during that crash, and I missed it.
It went
on some exchanges. I think it got down to 16.
Yeah,
I would have loved
I saw that.
to have bought that. Ugh. But no, I know we talk a lot about it, but if you didn't, they're going to have all the lectures and all the talks and stuff on their YouTube channel. If you weren't able to attend Decoded,
it was bad timing. Decoded was bad timing. I mean, it was the biggest crash of the year for Bitcoin in the entire market. The first day of Decoded.
I'm telling you, Marv, if you are a young developer,
and I was pissed off because I knew Decoded. I was banking on Decoded, pumping up the DOT ecosystem, and finally giving life in terms of value to some of these projects that we've invested in. And it was unfortunate that the timing took place the way it did. Do you not agree?
It's just so much bigger than that. They don't care. They don't care about.
I'm not asking if they care. I'm saying, don't you agree?
I don't really, because I think that Polkadot Decoded, these conferences, they're for people like me who are obsessed with them. They're for the developers. When this stuff comes out, don't worry about it. The price is going to move.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm just saying it was disappointing that it took place on the day of the crash. That's all.
I just don't think these conferences have that kind of price movement. And for me, it was actually the perfect timing, because it was just another reminder of how much I believe in the long term of some of these protocols and what's coming next. It was a good timing, and to be able to hear that from them. And I would just encourage anyone out there listening, if you want to learn how to code for blockchain, I would go Substrate right away. I would not do Solidity. I would not do any of these other ones first. I just go Substrate. From what it sounds like, it's definitely the future.
Yeah, I believe it. I absolutely believe that.
All right. So next thing we got to talk about here, Marv, is Binance Smart Chain, because we talk a lot about it on the channel, and some.
Don't go bringing bad news to the to BSC right now. Okay,
I didn't bring the bad news. The bad news was there. I didn't bring it.
I'm sick of the bad news for projects that I have big bags of and I'm bullish on. But go ahead.
All right. Well, you better maybe cover your ears for this next section. So anyway, you guys know that we really like the Binance Smart Chain for now. We think that obviously the user experience, it can't really be beat, but there were two big platforms on Binance Smart Chain that had problems the last couple of days, and we just got to mention it. So two more Binance Smart Chain projects report incidents. First one was Venus, which is a big one that obviously I've talked a lot about because I'm a big investor in Swipe, and the team at Swipe built Venus. So this was a couple of days ago now. Yesterday, they released this report saying that there was a large string of market liquidations on the Venus market. And as the price got lower, that started looping until a lot of people were liquidated. And so the Venus price went from $78, jumped to $139, and then crashed to $43. And I think right now it's sitting at about, well, now it's kind of recovering a bit. It's back up to over $50, but down big from its all-time high. As you can see, after the incident report came out, it crashed. So be careful with Venus. if you're if you have funds on Venus or whatnot, you probably are aware of this already. I do see these types of events as potential. Now, don't FOMO in. You need a lot more information when this happens before you start buying. But I've had luck in the past. These things do pass. You know, these things happen and they can be good buying opportunities. The other one was Bunny. So a lot of people use Bunny as a yield platform.
Bunny was crazy today. I heard there was a lot of chatter in our Telegram group about what happened here.
Yeah. So Bunny, they had a flash loan attack. And it dropped. So all the pools, the yield pools were safe, but it did the attacker was able to basically destroy the price of Bunny. It fell 96% at one point. Yeah, it's bounced back up, but it's still down. As you can see here from the chart, it's still way down from its all-time high and even from levels that it was consolidating at. So Binance Smart Chain, it's a trade-off, right? You're getting cheap fees. You're getting fast transactions, but there's a security trade-off for that. That's why Ethereum, why it's so slow and why it's so expensive, it's way more secure. It's way more decentralized. It has elements that you want from a decentralized network. It just comes with kind of a bad user experience a lot of the time. But that's the trade-off. So know that when you're on Binance Smart Chain, you're trading off decentralization because Binance Smart Chain is more centralized, and you're trading off security because you're going to hear stories like this a lot more on Binance Smart Chain, and especially recently. But it is a platform. I still use it, especially for all my yield farming. And we see here a couple of projects took advantage of that. A couple of our faves here, Auto Farm, their liquidity was up 5% almost. But Pancake Bunnies, their liquidity went down 45%.
It sounds
so
like it sounds like, from what I can see in our Telegram group, it sounds like they are going to be doing a buyback and burn, but they're waiting to get information from insurance before they announce that. Apparently.
Yeah, a lot of these, and Venus came out and said they're going to use their treasury to be able to basically make things right on the Venus site, because right now it's showing a lot of debt when it shouldn't. So these projects are dealing with these situations. We saw a big hack from Paid, and that only took a couple of days for them to rebound. So it's not like the end of the world like it used to be years ago. It was like, oh man, that project's dead. You'll never see that project again.
Do you remember when that happened to Paid? Sorry to interrupt. When that happened to Paid, I remember calling you and being like, should we buy Paid? Let's buy Paid. It's down. Let's buy it. This is a good project. And you said, hold on, Marv. Don't buy it yet.
The problem with Paid was they had to reissue.
That's what I mean. You saved me from buying it in a period where I would have lost everything because they had to do a swap and they timestamped it. So anyone that bought after.
Don't go FOMOing in. Don't just buy this dip until you understand fully what's going on here, how they're going to fix things. But after that, it could be an opportunity. And you can see that from Paid. If we even bring up the Paid chart, there was probably an opportunity to buy in there shortly after they fixed everything, although now it's tanked since then. But so here was the big dip. So yeah, if you had bought in a few days later after they fixed everything, issued the new tokens at about 165, it did end up going all the way up to over $5 again. So they can be opportunities, but you got to know all the information before you jump in. Because yeah, if you had bought down here,
I would have lost that because I wouldn't be available. I wouldn't be able to swap it, guys. So make sure before you do anything, check in with their teams, their telegrams, their announcements, their news before you do anything. And join us on Telegram because you can learn a lot about what's going on. Everyone on our Telegram group is very informative on these things. So join us on Telegram at Cryptowise Official and smash the likes, guys. We've got a lot of you people in here. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel and smash that like button for us.
And speaking of Binance Smart Chain, Marv, we got a shout out to our sponsor, of today's episode, which is Wheat Finance. They are one of our favorite yield farming platforms on Binance, which on Binance Smart Chain, which I use. And Wheat is the only yield farm on BSC that is deflationary, with mechanisms in place such as the automatic buybacks and burning that reduce the supply of wheat over time. With the lowest market cap and circulating supply, it is the best and the only truly sustainable farm that exists currently. So check out Wheat Finance if you haven't already.
Thanks for that, Milt. Just a quick update here on what's going on in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is rallying a bit. We are seeing some strength. I mean, look at, well, it's coming down a bit, but overall, we're seeing a massive rally. If you look at this last candle, it's almost at 42,000. So we are seeing some bullish upswing here. And I'm seeing more money come into the market. And so it's interesting to watch. It's going to be minute by minute. And I think, I think everyone needs to be paying attention to what's happening to Bitcoin, because ultimately the entire market right now is going to be dictated by where Bitcoin ends up here in the short term.
Well, are we good luck, Marv? Do you think this is the Cryptowise bounce that's happening right now?
This is the Cryptowise bounce. This is from the few hundred people that are in our group. I mean, that's just, the one thing I'm not going to do, Milt, right now is I'm not going to go long or short it, because that was a bloody curse making a position during a show, because the last show cost me a lot of money. And
actually, it was doing fine when we weren't talking. When we were talking.
Yeah, I don't know
Bitcoin,
what.
And it's starting to go red here.
Sorry, you just broke up. Yeah, I was doing fine. Now you've jinxed it. No, look, I don't think this is. I think what we're seeing is some bullish action happen here. I think we're seeing some. It looks like we're seeing some money come into the market here, and I don't know. Let's keep an eye on it.
We'll keep an eye on that for sure. So yeah, I mean, again, just back to Binance Smart Chain. Definitely, it's a platform I like to use, but just I hope people know that that it's not all networks are built equally, and so there are just give and take. There are pros and cons to each of the protocols and networks that you're using. So just be aware of that.
And I think you do have to on the Binance Smart Chain, not just Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, everything else. You got to be really careful. Binance Smart Chain in particular has a lot of opportunists taking advantage and coming out with scammy rug pull type projects. And so, don't FOMO into the newest yielding platform just because it came out, and don't take risks that you haven't done your homework on. Obviously, you can take risks. I'm not suggesting you don't take risks as crypto, but you do have to be cautious, because there's a lot of projects coming out every single day, especially on Binance Smart Chain right now. And so make sure to do your own homework, do your own research before you just FOMO into some of these.
Yeah, definitely 100%. Just one other piece of news that I wanted to touch on here, Marv. Obviously, the U.S. Treasury came out today. They're cracking down.
Why they got to go and do this, and the timing is hilarious.
Oh, this was not one I wanted to see. So yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to pick on the crypto as always. They want to pick on the crypto. They think all we're doing is using crypto for drugs and sex and rock and roll or whatever else.
Well, what the hell are you using yours for? Isn't that what it's for?
Well, not all of it.
Oh.
But the worst news here is just this 10,000. So basically you're going to have to, if you're a business, if you do any sort of trade in crypto and it's worth over $10,000, you got to report it. So I don't know the details on this. I don't know if it's just if you buy something from someone with crypto, or if you just trade within an exchange. If you do a trade that's over 10,000 in exchange, are you going to have, is that exchange going to have to report it? Oh, that would be brutal.
I think it's any purchase over $10,000 or money moving in.
Okay, but say I have 10,000 worth of Bitcoin and I put it into stablecoin. Is that considered?
Well, they would already have to report it. It's already in there at 10,000, right?
Well, it could accumulate, right? It could accumulate. But anyway,
any transfer, it says any transfer worth 10,000. I'm not 100% sure. Though, we should probably at some point on this channel bring on a tax expert to talk about how anyone in the United States and some of the other regions and there's a bunch of softwares out there now to help people manage this so that they can report their gains and manage their trades accordingly, because there is good news here at the same time. As annoying as this is, Milton, this is telling me that crypto's not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah, it's not going anywhere. That's for sure. I believe that more than I've ever believed it. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just annoying is all. But yeah, we got to do that. I mean, our Cryptowise audience, our Cryptowisers are everywhere. We got to do a whole global, we got to do a global, we got to touch on every country if we're going to do a tax episode, because we got people listening in from all over the place.
All over the place. And we're so grateful to have everyone here at Cryptowise. If you haven't already, please do us a big favor. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Smash it, smash it, smash it. And join us on Telegram at Cryptowise Official. Milton, what are I know we're going to keep this show tight, but what's your next move? What are you doing right now? Maybe we can provide some insight into what we're up to, because people are on the sidelines trying to figure out what to do next. Crypto's tough, right? Because it's constantly moving. We're making moves every single day, generally investing, researching, all these types of things. I was doing stupid shit like doing a long on Bitcoin at the worst time in history, or at least for this year. And so when a day goes by like this, or the last couple of days, and you don't know what to do, obviously there's a lot of buying opportunities. But what are you thinking? What are you doing right now?
I'm kind of laying low right now. I have not sold anything over the last couple of days. I bought, as you know, last episode I said I was buying, and I bought a bunch of Bitcoin at around 40.
So you're actually doing pretty good.
Because so right now I'm up a little bit. I was buying all the way down though. I was buying all the way down. I bought at 42. I bought at 44, I think. And then I bought my last kind of stash was at 40. So to be honest, I'm pretty low right now. My stable's way lower than I normally like to be, just because I've been, everyone says buy the dip, and that's what I do. I buy the dip. But now that we had this crash, most of my money is in the market, and that makes it tricky. It makes it kind of, I got to be more kind of careful about my moves. It also means I got to look at some of my alts that I've made big profit on. If we do see a kind of a nice move up, do I start kind of slicing off some small profit to rebuild my stable stack? We'll see. I'm going to have to be more strategic over the next couple of weeks than I normally like to be, just because that kind of stash of stables that I keep for the dips is used. I've been using it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, most of the focus is on the big boys, those blue chippers, because there's so many buying opportunities out there. At the same time, for those that are bullish on the future of crypto and have no fear, they are also focused on what's the next small cap to try to make a 10x or a 100x instead of making a 40-80% gain back here in the short term. One project, Milton, that I am focused on over this next week or two, very, very focused on, is Elixir. And I know we've talked about this a couple of times. There's been some fantastic buying opportunities over the last couple of days in this. Their product, they delayed their product launch until the weekend for a good reason, because of what the market was doing. They wanted to make sure it gave them a little extra time before they launch phase one of their product. But I truly believe for a small cap, it's a $10 million market cap right now, Milton. It's trading at $11.39. There's been buying opportunities around $6 to $10 here for the last 48 hours. Once the product is released, in my opinion, and they start to get some true value locked in some of their pools, a lot of people are going to be talking about Elixir, and I think that we're going to see some tremendous gains. Of course, not financial advice, but I think we're going to see some tremendous gains, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're having this conversation in a couple weeks from now, and Elixir is over $40, $50, and I could easily see it go to $100 in the not so long future. That's my personal opinion.
It's definitely under the radar. I think we're the only ones talking about it right now. That will change because they're going to launch, as you said.
I've seen some big Twitter guys talking about it. I can share a bunch of tweets in Telegram. There's some big people, but it's still very much under the radar. I think you're right. It's under the radar. You don't have YouTubers talking about it yet. I think it's a gem that we found and we brought to you guys. And so add it to your ByteDAR, do your own research. But sorry to interrupt you. There are people talking about it. It's just still under the radar. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen many people, but yeah, I'll take your word from it for it. And I think, obviously, I've said all along, once it launches, I'm going to make a video on it because I think it's that useful and it's something I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be definitely. I thought I'd be making it this week, but they delayed it, and so probably next week sometime I'll probably have a video out on that.
That's awesome. Can't wait to see it. Your videos are the best videos on our channel, by the way. If everyone were to vote, they love Milton's project videos. There's no question about it.
Well, I am pretty proud of the PokeSwap one that I made the other day. It's still here. So if people have not watched my PokeSwap video, PokeSwap is obviously one of the Polkadot projects that I'm really high on. I think it's got a great future. I've added a bunch of liquidity to it. I'm using it. And so PokeSwap is here. It's ready. You can use it right now. It's a great way if you're interested in the Polkadot, how Polkadot works, the ecosystem, stuff like that. It's the only legit Polkadot project out there that is working, that is a substrate project. It just isn't attached to the relay chain yet. But it's for me, it's that's a video. If I was going to shill any of my videos to you guys, watch my PokeSwap video that I just made a few days ago.
I'm just looking at the PokeSwap tokenomics here. It's at 48 cents, so some big buying opportunities on PokeSwap. Obviously, it's down with the entire market, but its all-time high was 88 cents just a couple days ago. So, yeah, I think that's fantastic. Your video on PokeSwap was amazing. It converted me because, we have this bet on PDEX versus PokeSwap, but the truth is PokeSwap's a fantastic project. And your video was extremely informative. And so I'm on the PokeSwap train as well, Milt.
Yeah, the other thing I would say about PokeSwap, just if people want to know my strategy, I have some PokeSwap because I was farming it for a long time, but I've added liquidity to PokeSwap, and that's how you get that P-Swap token. You get a bunch of rewards, especially right now if you're an early liquidity provider. It's kind of almost like a farming token in that I don't know. I mean, I love it long term, but for me, I'm trying to earn as much of it as I can instead of just going out and buying a big bag. So that's been my strategy. So I've been mostly buying XOR because that's half of what you need to add liquidity to PokeSwap. It's like on Uniswap, you use ETH and something else. On PokeSwap, you use XOR and something else. So I've mostly bought XOR, used it as liquidity, and earned P-Swap. So that's kind of been my strategy.
What can I do with my 2,000 Sora votes on my Sora app? I'll sell those to you. I'll sell you all my Sora votes for 10 XOR. And if we do this on the show, that's a verbal agreement.
Yeah, no, I don't know. For those of you who don't know what he's talking about the old Sora app.
What do you mean old? I got 2,000 votes. I've earned these votes. What am I going to do with them? So buy them. I'll sell them to you right now.
That's the old Sora. That's the old Sora.
What do you mean the old Sora? What's the new Sora? Is there a new app? I'm just making fun of it because the app was a joke. But and I don't know what the hell to do with those votes. I think it's a governance thing. It's for voting on projects. That's what it's for.
Yeah, but I don't know that now they've got the whole ecosystem with the tokens and everything. You're going to confuse. You're confused.
I got to sell these votes to someone. If anyone wants to buy my Sora votes, DM us on Telegram. I may be willing to trade them. Anyways, guys, it's been an amazing show. Milton, I don't know. Do you have anything else?
That's all from me, my friend.
That's all from you.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, well, it's always a pleasure spending time with all you guys. Thank you guys so much. We've got more project videos coming out, in-depth reviews, mini reviews, altcoin videos, and we're going live, of course, this weekend. If you haven't already, please do us a big favor. Smash the like button on this video. It means the world to us. And subscribe to the channel. Click on that little bell. That little bell is going to get you real-time updates. And, yeah, as always, Milt, my friends, everybody out there, stay safe, stay tuned. Crypto doesn't sleep. I don't get much sleep either. This is Milton and Marvin saying we are over and out.